Hello and welcome to Social Media Business, the podcast about social media and business. My name is Laurel Papworth and you can find me on Twitter as Silk Charm. The most common question I'm often asked is about how people can improve their Facebook page or their tweeting for engagement. And what I tend to do is look at what they're posting up and try and work out what their priority is. Is it to talk to the customer, to have the customer talk back to them, or to have the customer talk to other customers? So it's either B2C, C2B, or C2C. In order to do that, I look for 4 different types of updates, and I would really recommend that in your conversation diary that you mix these up. Don't have just one, but to have a mixture of them. The first sort of update is a testimonial. In social terms, this is when a friend of yours might put up on Facebook, I'm taking the kids to school, I'm going to the doctors. It's not statements which have inherent questions like, I'm really nervous, I want to kill myself, because they beg an answer. So a testimonial really doesn't look for any answers. It's a straight statement. In company terms, it's things like, our new product will be released next week, our CEO says that the global financial crisis is over, whatever it is. It's just a bold statement that doesn't require any response. That's a testimonial. The second kind of status update is social search. And this is where you ask your network a question and ask them to answer it. So instead of saying, I'm going to lunch, you might say, where should I go for lunch today? Or what should I have for lunch? Or what are you having for lunch? And a small percentage, small or large, depending on the question, and that's the key, what question do you ask? You'll always get some kind of an answer usually, unless your database is just so small you can't encourage them to answer it at all. By database, of course, I mean your channel, your following, your friends, your likes on Facebook, whatever. If you're a company, there's a lot of different things that are happening at the moment. On Facebook pages, quite a few companies are playing the FBO EdgeRank game, which means they put up a photo and they say, if you like this, like it. If you don't like it, share it and tell us why. That increases the EdgeRank for that social object. It increases the optimization and the likelihood it'll appear in the news feed. But it is social search. You're asking for feedback on something, or you're posing a question that needs to be answered. It can be, in a sense, ironic. Well, that's just great, isn't it? But normally a question is a question that needs an answer. The third type of status update, I should say social object, because it's not limited just to status updates. It can be a YouTube video. But the third type of status object is purely to do with distribution. So now we're looking at the C2C. And that's where people are asked to retweet or share or like something to forward it into those networks. And the kind of distribution we see is internal and external. So internal distribution is the retweet on Twitter. Something was found on Twitter, forwarded on Twitter. On Facebook, it's the share. Something was found on Facebook. They hit the share button, forwarded it onto their own network on Facebook. Or external distribution, which is you find a video on YouTube and you tweet it, or you read an interesting article in a newspaper and then you Facebook it. That's external because it's pulling in content from outside and then using those social media platforms not as content channels but as distribution channels. The fourth type of status update is the discussion. This is often with key influencers where you might choose to comment on something somebody else is saying or tweeting, and you use the @ symbol. On Twitter, you use the plus symbol, like plus Laurel Papworth. On Facebook, @SilkCharm on Twitter. Google Plus is plus Laurel Papworth, and it will go into my notifications area, and so on and so forth. When you do a discussion, it's between you and someone else, but it's public. So when you see companies, particularly customer service in companies, having discussions with another customer, it's public customer service and the invisible audience is part of the distribution of that content. So the 4 types of status updates are statement or testimonial, which frankly doesn't get a lot of reaction, social search, posing a question, Distribution of external content such as your blog post or your YouTube video through social media sites, or internal distribution, sharing or liking or retweeting something you found within those social networks. And then the fourth one is the discussion, the banter to and fro, back and forward, to and fro between you and someone else or a group of someone else's, but the general public is connected to that discussion. And then clearly using the hashtag helps link those discussions together as well. Of course, you can mix it up. You can post up an external link and ask people what they thought about it. So that's external distribution and social search. Or you can, at Silk Charm, what do you think of my new blog post? By all means, do that. And then link it to me. And maybe I will then do distribution and forward it on. But they're really the four basic updates that we see, the four types of social objects that we see. And if within every social object you put up, you use and have a call to action, which is around answering something, forwarding something, or discussing something, then you'll get a lot more traction and engagement on your Facebook and Twitter page using those four, three of those four status updates anyway. If you have any questions, please tweet me at SilkCharm or come to my blog, laurelpapworth.com. Thank you.